Hello, procrastinators. So, today we're going to talk about a clone feature, and I think that's a really useful sort of power user kind of feature that is associated with pretty much every module. So, what is it? If we're going to a factory ammo, we'll see a bunch of records, primers, same thing, projectiles, powders, but typically when we buy things, when I buy things, I don't buy it in one, I buy multiples. So let's say we're looking at primers, and we have a batch of primers here, Winchester Large Pistol 01 uh, and Winchester Large Pistol 02. In fact, we'll delete 02 um, just to make it a little bit more easier to see. And let's say instead of buying 1,000, I bought a crate, which is 5,000. Adding 5,000 directly into primers is, adding 5,000 here is probably counterproductive because we're not we're going to be using an individual box out of a bigger box out of a bigger box. It just doesn't work that way. So we're going to batch them into lots of thousand. I added my first set of primers. Here it is. Purchase date, quantity, price, whatever. All of this can be changed. But let's say we've added this, we've updated, and here it is. Now to add 10 more, rather than adding this again and entering all this information again, what we can do, and this is valid for all components and recipes, by the way, we can click on the clone button, which is over here, and we'll make a copy of this record. And here it is. The only difference between these two is the name. So we'll update the name. We'll say it's batch 2, and we will save. So we don't even need to go into the form to change it. We can do it from the summary table. And we can do this again and again. And I'm not going to make you sit through me clicking this and updating a million times. So I think this is a pretty good demonstration of the clone feature. Now, the reason the name changes is because we can't have duplicate batch names. So when we make a copy, we take the original name and add a date to it. And that's just a safe option. So a user will then update it to whatever they choose to. And that's a clone feature. So in components, in factory ammo, in equipment, clone feature works exactly as you would expect. It makes an exact copy. The only difference is in cartridge development. And what this clone feature does is it emits certain information inside cartridge development record for safety reasons. And we'll talk about cartridge development later, and we'll include a clone for this in a separate tutorial. But it's just something to keep in mind that cartridge development doesn't do an exact clone for safety reasons, and everything else is an exact copy. So if I choose to copy this firearm, we'll get an exactly the same one. The only difference is the name. So that's it. That's the clone feature. And as you can see, you can't have repetitive names. So we'll say 357 number 2, or maybe we'll say 357 target, and maybe update this one to hunting. Doesn't really matter, but that's it. That's our clone feature. Thank you, and I'll talk to you next time.